like and subscribe button if you're new here. Today we're taking a look at some great videos by Liberal Hive Mind. We're talking about the whole Trump-Iran situation. So please slap the like and subscribe button if you're new here. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. We got some interesting content to show you. And yes, Trump tried to strike a deal with Iran for months and months and months, a diplomatic deal, but they did not want to do such a deal. It was only a matter of time. We've been having conflicts with this country and negotiation talks for over 10 years now.
Green light to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. And was duly elected. He holds a certain responsibility. He was given certain authorities by the people as the executive of the United States. He's the leader and commander of the American military. You know, he was elected to call the shots, and this is the shot he called. From the looks of it, Donald Trump isn't flinching even a little bit. It seems he's done playing nice. Honestly, it feels like a full-on recalibration of American foreign policy. Probably better said, American foreign posturing. The president's got his freaking chest out. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I first want to start off with this clip right over here.
This is some interesting videos right here.
Before President Trump gave the green light to strike Iran's nuclear facilities.
What the president said is so perfect about this. I think he gets to define America first because he's the person who ran, who was elected, and who actually leads this movement.
That's right, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance knows something about chain of command.
The president is very focused on a core American national interest, and that national interest is the state of Iran should not have a nuclear weapon.
So how long do you give diplomacy a chance to
Let me know where you guys are coming from.
Bunker buster?
Look, the president has to answer that question, right? And I think that what he said is he's going to pursue diplomacy until he thinks that there isn't an opportunity. And once he decides that diplomacy has completely run its course, that we're not going to get anything out of additional talks, then I think the president is going to do what he needs to do to end Iranian enrichment
JD.
and end that Iranian nuclear program. Again, the president will make that final decision. I do think that we're running out of time, but as the president said yesterday, he wants to give it a little bit more time to see what diplomacy can accomplish.
Obviously, a lot of people in President Trump's ear giving him advice. What advice are you giving him?
The advice that I'm giving him is sort of trust your instincts. He's got the best instincts of any president I've ever seen, of any political leader that I've ever seen. I think that he knows when diplomacy has run its course, and he'll know when ultimately he has to employ the American military to make sure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear program.
You said you think we're running out of time. The president says he wants to take about 2
Hello, welcome into the chat. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Inside the United States, outside the United States.
He's not going to tell anybody exactly when or what he's going to do. He's going to continue working this process. He's going to let the diplomatic process unfold. And in the meantime, of course, the President of the United States can do whatever he needs to do, whenever he needs to do it to keep the American people safe.
Now, I don't know if he was aware that the strikes were going to happen. It's possible that he was playing coy.
Germany, shout out Germany.
Really,
Thank you for watching.
It was coming, but it certainly seemed as though he was alluding to something, as if he thought diplomacy at that point was exhausted. And that's exactly what he said. The president's going to make the call when he believes that diplomacy has failed. And well, I guess the president got there rather quick. And it's not exactly surprising. I mean, it's Donald Trump we're talking about, a man who's notoriously impulsive, decisive, and frankly unapologetic. And well, speaking of unapologetic, that's where we get to this.
All this before
Trump
GTA
addressing the nation
6.
after the strikes. I mean, it's giving me
Drop me a like and comment. Let me know what you guys are
Trump
coming
flashbacks.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight,
I do not speak German, but welcome in. Hit the like and subscribe button. All this before GTA 6.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
I mean, it's just absolutely unabashed. Surrender outright or pay the frickin' consequence. That's the message he's sending. Honestly, I think it's a presentation and an exertion of American
Hit the like and subscribe button, guys.
And it's clearly different from the typical neocon warmonger approach in a lot of different ways. I mean, it certainly seems to come in like a ram, but then always kind of offering an out, always offering a peaceful solution. Even at the end of that fiery speech, he still says the goal here is peace. Cooperate with us, back down, be peaceful, or else. The goal is to
Let me know where you
actually
guys are
flex
coming
America's
from.
incredible military assets to essentially
Quickly, guys, let me know where you guys are coming from. Inside the USA, outside the USA. I'd love to hear from you guys, but I do not speak German. But let me know where you guys are coming from. Hit the like and subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Any thoughts about this whole Iran-Trump situation? Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're coming from, what city and what state you're coming from. Iran is the best. You really like the Islamic Republic? I love the Iranian people. Oh, you're just saying hello in German. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Inside the United States, outside the United States. Hit the like and subscribe button. I don't like the USA striking Iran or Israel first. I mean, I don't like the United States striking Iran first, and I don't like Israel striking Iran first either, but I can't say that they're doing the right or wrong thing. But drop me a comment, hit the like and subscribe button. Go Donald J. Trump. Guys, hit the like button. We're at 0 likes right now. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from. I love to hear where you guys are coming from. What city, what state, what country. All the Germans in here, please let me know what city you're coming from. And let's watch the rest of this video, guys. Very interesting stuff. Somebody drop a super chat. Drop me a super chat if you got any specific questions about this whole situation. Iran, no new wars, he said. Well, he did end the war. Let's check out this video, though,
actually
guys.
bully the bad guys into submission. Or at least that's the idea, right? And now, of course, we go to the same place we were last time. You're hearing the claims that Iran will strike back. But we've been there, done that, heard that before. Remember back in 2020 when Donald Trump absolutely smoked Qasem Soleimani, a man who was dubbed Iran's top terror mastermind? Well, we had the same reports back then. Here's an ABC News clip from 2020.
We begin with Iran firing back, launching more than a dozen ballistic missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq.
But so far, there are no reports of casualties. Those missiles rained down in the middle of the night in retaliation for the U.S. drone strike that killed a top Iranian general. The attack could signal a major escalation.
I was live streaming earlier with my friends. What are you talking about, buddy? Hit the like and subscribe button, guys.
President Trump toned down his rhetoric last night, tweeting, "All is well."
The rockets, which were fired from Iranian territory,
hit the like and subscribe button. Drop me a super chat if you guys got any
striking back
questions.
at the U.S., launching more than a dozen ballistic missiles, seen here in Iranian state TV video in what they've dubbed Operation Martyr Soleimani. Revenge for the U.S. drone strike that killed their top military general, Qasem Soleimani.
You know, it really does feel like it was just yesterday where President bombed Soleimani. And at the time, it was a decisive blow, and I think for the most part, it was celebrated. And it's almost like people forgot that this isn't the first time that Donald Trump hits the Iranians. And I said the exact same thing when we were talking about the Israel-Iran back and forth that happened last week. It's not like this is coming out of nowhere. It's been happening. World War III, a declaration of war, boots on the ground, a war without congressional approval. And you know, sure, Tim Pool is probably frantically ranting about World War III, but I'm just not feeding into that, at least not yet. What happened last time Trump attacked Iran? They said they were going to do this, they were going to do that. Oh, wait until
Go Trump, baby!
And then basically nothing. I think Iran's military
Hit the like and subscribe button.
They cannot take America head on. If they retaliate, it'll be viewed as symbolic. A couple of fiery speeches in Parliament, a couple of Allahu Akbars, maybe a few rockets landing in the desert, but no actual serious escalation. Because if you think about it, the bunker shots, that was the warning shot. If anything, it's not even as bad as when Donald Trump hit Soleimani. I mean, he obliterated one of their top generals. In this case, they attacked infrastructure that had already been evacuated months ago. But basically, I guess what I'm saying is it's too early, don't jump the gun emotionally, and maybe try to entertain a more positive outlook. I mean, there's so much doom and gloom being pushed on the internet, but maybe after electing President Trump to make these kinds of decisions, maybe let the situation play out a little bit here, put some faith in the man who was elected to do the job, to see that job through. And at the end of the day, I think the intention is good. And if the message is sent clearly, which I think to the Iranians it very clearly was, well, if it's well received enough, maybe the outcome could be good too. We have absolutely no idea idea what's going to happen here. You could pull your hair out and predict doom and gloom.
Doom and
another
gloom.
endless
Hit the
war,
like and
boots on the
subscribe button,
ground,
guys.
World War III. But that's what they said last time. And look what happened then. And look, I'm not here trying to push copium. It could be, it could be actually the worst case, most doom and gloom situation. Guerrilla warfare, attacks on American interests, people, and infrastructure. It could be a nuclear frickin' apocalypse. Or it might be the move that saves the world from a nuclear Iran. Who knows what they're going to etch in the history books. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you.
That's it from him. That was a really good video. Guys, I accidentally clicked off, but yeah, that was a really, really good video. I saw that some countries have been offering to give Iran nuclear weaponry. That is horrible in my opinion. Alex Jones actually thinks that they already have nukes. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think so. MAGA 2028. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Drop me some likes. We only got 2 likes in chat right now. Drop me a super chat, too. Russia never said that, I don't believe. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Much appreciated. Yes, I support Donald J. Trump, but I don't like America attacking other countries first, regardless of the situation. I really don't appreciate that. I really don't support that. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you guys have any specific things you want me to talk about, discuss, or show you, just drop me a super chat. I'll show you whatever you guys like. I have another video pulled up here from Pete Hegseth, discusses U.S. attacks on Iran 2 hours ago. Turn Iran in the dust. Well, I don't want to turn it in the dust. I don't want to kill an entire civilian population. Putin said other countries were offering them nukes. Thank you for correcting whoever said Putin was offering them nukes. Thank you, Drewby. I'm not rage baiting at all. I'm 100% serious. You support Donald J. Trump and MAGA? Absolutely, good sir. Somebody drop me a super chat if you got any specific questions about the war. I think that was a really good video. But let's play Pete Hegseth next.
Military strikes. Let's take a listen in right now.
Against 3 nuclear facilities.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from. What city, what state? Did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for Harris? Let me know. I love to hear you guys' political opinions, where you're from. Please let me know. Do I think Hegseth is competent? Actually, I don't really... I'm not 100% sure on that. That's kind of questionable. But if you have any more questions you want me to break down or topics you want me to discuss, please drop me a super chat, guys. Would really appreciate some super chats. I'm Algerian. Shout out Algeria. I voted for Trump. Awesome, man. Minnesota, but this isn't Trump's fault. Hit the like and subscribe button. We got Kansas in here. Somebody drop me a super chat. I don't think a draft is coming. Like the guy said in the video, there's been other attacks by Trump that he's attacked Iran in the past before that were way worse than this. Way worse. Shout out Kentucky. North Carolina voted Trump 3 times. Awesome, man. It's a war where all the countries get involved. But that's an interesting definition. Hit the like and subscribe button. If anyone wants to drop me a super chat, it would be much appreciated. We can talk, discuss anything you want to talk about. Voted for Kamala. Where are you from, if I may ask? Chris? Sniffing. Some allergies. I gotta take my allergy pills. Respect my authority. We're gonna play this Pete Hegseth video so we can just talk about why he did all this bombing of Iran. I don't really agree with it, but they're the military strategist at the end of the day. There's no drafting. I would love to go to Finland, but I'm not from there. Big mistake to get involved. I somewhat agree. But drop me a super chat if you guys have anything you want me to talk about. King Trump. King Trump. There you go. Is that what you want me to say? John, are you Nigerian? Please let me know where you guys are coming from. Hit the like and subscribe button. Someone drop me a super chat. I'll do a flip for Trump. Just drop a super chat. I'll do 300 to 400 push-ups if someone drops a super chat and requests it. 300 to 400 push-ups. Just drop me a super chat and say push-ups, push-ups. MAGA, King Trump. Hit the like and subscribe button. Oh, David, you can speak Nigerian. Interesting. Are you from Nigeria? Hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, drop me a super chat. Somebody drop me a super chat. Would be much appreciated. It's a joke. I don't think Trump is a king, but look, no kings, liberals. Your no kings protest worked. It worked. Your no kings protest worked. There's no kings in America, guys. The no kings protest worked. Congratulations. Hit the like and subscribe button. Someone drop me a super chat if you have any specific topics or videos you want me to show. If there's any videos you want me to show or topics you want to talk about, just drop me a super chat.
Natanz and Esfahan in order to destroy or severely degrade Iran's nuclear program. And as
You just got to sign up on YouTube with your credit card and you can drop a super chat.
Incredible and overwhelming success. The order we received.
I love Donald J. Trump. I love him. Someone drop me a super chat if you love America.
And it was clear.
Or if you love the channel. Or if you have any specific topics and discussions, I read all super chats out loud. Whatever you want to say, I'll read it. And I'll take requests and topics. Whatever you guys like.
Time in office, President Trump has consistently stated for over 10 years that Iran must not.
Hey, Scarlett, welcome back.
Full stop.
I'm still trying to process this whole Iran thing that's going on right now with us, shooting rockets at them. I'm trying to process this in my brain. So I got a video from Pete Hegseg, however you say his name. I don't know. He said, why are the servers down on GM? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. What the hell is that? What the hell website is that? Jerkmate servers. I don't know what the hell that is. That sounds disgusting, though. Why are Jerkmate servers down? I don't know. That's disgusting. I don't know. I'm doing well. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. If anyone wants to drop me a super chat, it would be much appreciated. That was a pretty funny, stupid super chat, but I really do appreciate it. Let me know if you have any other questions. I don't think our country is cooked, but I don't want us to go into war. But I played a video earlier that brought up a great point. Trump actually did attack Iran before. He killed one of their generals, I believe, and it did a lot more damage than this recent attack. They just attacked a nuclear facility that was evacuated months ago. But still, I don't think it's a good look or a good idea. There's a lot up in the air right now, and Iran said that they're going to retaliate harder than ever, more than ever, so that's a little bit scary. That is a little bit scary, I can't lie. What are they saying? What are they saying in the comments? Someone drop me a super chat. The chats are moving fast. If you have anything you want me to talk about or discuss, please drop me a super chat. For now, I'm going to play this video for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, but if anyone wants to drop me a super chat, I'll stop the video and we can discuss. If you have any requests or any comments or anything you want me to talk about or debate about, just drop me a super chat. Let's play this video and hear what Pete has to say. This video was released 2 hours ago. Oh, he dropped a super chat. Is there anything you want me to talk about or discuss? Anything you want me to talk about or discuss? Why hasn't Trump what? Trump has lowered prices. Gas has gone down $1 per gallon. What about that? Do you think that's lowered prices? But I'll be honest, with this whole Iran cutting off the Why hasn't Trump lowered prices or ended wars? He did end the conflict between Pakistan and India. That is one war he ended. And also the prices of gas have gone down in Florida. They're about $2.80. They're about $4 under President Joe Biden. If you guys have any other questions or comments, drop me a super chat.
Trump's bold and visionary leadership and his
I'll stop the video for any super chats. We can talk and discuss about whatever you guys like. But now let's listen.
Obliterated. Many presidents have dreamed of delivering the final blow to Iran's nuclear program, and none could until President Trump.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Drop a super chat if you guys got any questions.
And it was brilliant.
That's a great point. Many presidents have dreamed of putting the final foot on Iran's nuclear program. So I guess we don't have to send troops into Iran now since we already ended the nuclear program. This battle won't be fought on foot. I don't think so either, but I don't like cyber warfare either. I don't like cyber warfare, so hopefully we just have some planes and some rockets, and I hope America doesn't get hit with a rocket or a ballistic missile, whatever you want to call it. If you have any specific questions or things we should talk about, I don't think this war will be fought on foot. I 100% agree with you there, but you never know. If Trump ever sends foot soldiers into Iran, I will 100% rebuke him, and I'll say, all right, this man is a garbage president at that point. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. If anyone else has any comments, I'll stop the video. Just drop a super chat, or if they want me to talk or discuss about anything, just drop me a super chat. But let's continue on with Pete here.
Showing the world that American deterrence is back. When this president speaks, the world should listen. And the U.S. military, we can back it up. The most powerful military the world has ever known. No other country on planet Earth could have conducted the operation that the chairman is going to outline this morning. Not even close. Just like Soleimani found out in the first term, Iran found out when POTUS says 60 days that he seeks peace and negotiation, he means...
When POTUS says 60 days, it means 60 days, I guess. Iran didn't want to listen. 60 days later, they got hit by some rockets at their nuclear facilities. I don't believe any civilians died, so it was just some military stuff that got destroyed. But if you guys have any questions, or if you want me to stop the video, or anything you want to talk about or debate, drop me some super chats, guys. Would be much appreciated. Drop some super chats, guys, which would be much appreciated. Sorry, I got the sniffles a little bit. My allergies are acting up. I'm going to take an allergy pill now, actually. You agree with everything Trump has done except foreign policy? Interesting. What do you not like about Trump's foreign policy? Drop a super chat if you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk or debate about. Well, Scarlett, from our conversations before, you sound pretty smart, but I do support our president, but I don't support everything he says. By the way, this is not a zit. This is just like a shaving cut. But okay. Drop me some super chats. I'll answer some other comments if they're good too. But if you have any comments, any questions, anything you want me to read out loud or talk about or discuss, drop me a super chat. Do I hate Canada? No, I love Canada. They should become the 51st state. I've been to Canada before. I'm from Florida. I'm not from the UK. Trump loves himself and Trump loves you.
60 days of peace and negotiation.
I don't hate Mexicans. Plenty of Mexicans in my family. I'm from Southwest Florida, Fort Myers. Yeah, try to invade Florida. Just try it. I dare you. Double dog dare you.
The President Trump said no nukes.
Drop me a super chat, guys. If you have any questions or anything you want me to read out loud, let me know.
sent out a truth last night saying this: any retaliation by Iran against the United States of America will be met with force far greater than what was witnessed tonight.
Yes, I love
Signed,
Jesus.
the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Iran would be smart to heed those words. He said it before, and he means it. I want to give recognition to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Joint Staff, General Eric Kurilla at CENTCOM, who did a phenomenal
Another
job.
super chat. Let me see what you're saying. Question: why did Trump bomb Iran outside of aiding Israel? What do you think his goal is exactly? Because I wasn't for it. Well, to be clear, I wasn't for it either. I don't really support Trump doing that, but he's made his goal clear. First off, he asked for negotiations between Iran and the USA. He said, we'll give you 60 days. 60 days passed. They didn't respond. They didn't want to negotiate. They didn't want to make diplomacy. So Trump just bombed Iran, and he took out the nuclear facilities. There was no civilians or anyone there. They evacuated months ago. I don't really agree with any country attacking any country first with a bomb. I don't agree with it, but at the end of the day, I'm not the one running the military responsibilities. Trump is who we voted for, and he's who we support. No one's perfect. People make mistakes. Let's just hope this mistake doesn't end a tragedy for the United States of America. My opinions are not for sale, but I will openly discuss and debate. Read your comments. I can give you my opinions. We can talk about different stuff, but my opinions are not for sale for everyone out there saying this or that. Hegseth, I really am not a huge fan of him necessarily. He's all right. I really would have to compare him to other people, but I'm not his biggest fan. I will debate you live anytime. Join my Discord. I'm looking for more and more people to talk and discuss with and debate live. So join my Discord, link in bio. If anyone else has any things they want me to talk or discuss about, just drop me a super chat. We can talk about whatever you guys like. I'll read the comments out loud. Whatever you guys want to say, any requests, let me know. If anyone wants to drop a 20 USD in a super chat, I'll do 300 to 400 push-ups. You just got to say push-ups and drop some super chats. Take the hat off. It's about to go out of fashion. Well, if you want me to take the hat off, you're going to have to drop a lot more than $2, buddy. But I appreciate the super chat. Maybe like 50 or $100 and I'll take off the hat. But $2, it's not going to happen. But I appreciate the super chat.
He and his staff, all of CENTCOM, policy across.
I will get a new hat soon, guys. Just wait a month or two and I'm going to get a new hat in.
Effort. I want to recognize the pilots who flew those bombers, who flew those fighters, who flew those refuelers, warriors. I want to recognize the sailors on those destroyers, in those subs, on those carriers, warriors. All of them.
I got my MAGA hat on everywhere.
Soldiers doing air defense, base defense, QRF, warriors, all of them. Every American involved in this operation performed flawlessly. And I want to give
hit like and subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from.
As well. This is a plan that took months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be ready when the President of the United States called. It took a great deal of precision. It involved misdirection.
B-52 bomber. You know, I took a shot of some alcohol that was called B-52, and literally 2 days later, Iran got blown up. As an Australian watching the U.S., this feels really funny, like a crime show. Well, fair enough. I don't see any crimes going on here.
Of operational security.
I appreciate your super chat, though, brother.
Of downtown Tehran, of these nuclear sites, in and out and back without the world knowing at all. In that way.
Sorry, I'm reading this comment. If you have any questions you want me to read, drop me a super chat. I'll read it out loud and give you the best answer possible. Or if you have any topics you want me to discuss or debate about, drop me a super chat. We can talk about it. It's B-2 stealth bomber. Sorry, not B-52. My apologies. Drop me a super chat if you guys have anything you want me to talk about or discuss. Thank you. Well, let's continue with this video.
It was historic. A strike that included the longest B-2 Spirit bomber mission since 2001 and the first operational employment of the MOP, a massive ordnance penetrator. The mission demonstrated to the world
Canada should become the 51st state.
that speak to the strength
If
of
you
our
guys want me to go into the whole 51st state for Canada thing, drop me a super chat. We'll discuss it.
alliance and our joint forces. As President Trump has stated, the United States does not seek war, but let me be clear.
America
We
first.
will act swiftly and decisively when our people, our partners, or our interests are threatened. Iran should listen to the President of the United States and know that he means it, every word.
They should know he means
I want to give congratulations to our Commander-in-Chief. It was an honor to watch him lead last night and throughout, and to our great American warriors on this successful operation. God bless our troops. God bless America. And we give glory to God for his providence and continue to ask for his protection. I turn it over now to the chairman for specifics.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thanks for recognizing all of our folks out there doing our nation's work, and nice to see everybody on this early Sunday morning. Last night on the President's orders, U.S. Central Command, under the command of General Eric Kurilla, executed...
Try to log into another YouTube account if it says super chat unavailable. I'm not sure why I would say that, honestly.
Operation Midnight
Smash the
Hammer,
like and subscribe
a deliberate
button.
and precise strike against...
If there's anything you want me to talk about or any topics you want me to discuss, just drop me a super chat. Would be much appreciated. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Hit the like and subscribe button. And if there's any subjects or anything you want me to read out loud or any ideas or topics or anything you want me to show you video-wise about Iran, about U.S. politics, about anything, just drop a super chat. Shout out Phoenix, Arizona. I got family there.
3 Iranian nuclear facilities. This was a complex and high-risk mission carried out with exceptional skill and discipline by our joint force. I want to thank every service member, planner, operator that made this mission possible. Their actions reflect the highest standards of the United States Armed Forces. This operation was designed to severely degrade Iran's nuclear weapons infrastructure. It was planned and executed across multiple domains and theaters with coordination that reflects our ability to project power globally with speed and precision at the time and place of our nation's choosing. This was a highly classified mission with very few people in Washington knowing the timing or nature of this plan. I'll refer you to the graphic on the side as I walk you through some of the operational details. At midnight Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of a plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west and into the Pacific as a decoy, a deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa. The main strike package, comprised of 7 B-2 Spirit bombers, each with 2 crew members, proceeded quietly to the east with minimal communications. Throughout the 18-hour flight into the target area, the aircraft completed multiple in-flight refuelings. Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms in a narrow piece of airspace, all done with minimal communications. This type of integration is exactly what our joint force does better than anyone else in the world. At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, and just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command Area of Responsibility launched more
My
than
boy
2 dozen
Trump
Tomahawk
ain't playing with
attack
y'all.
cruise
That's
missiles
right.
against key surface infrastructure targets at Esfahan. as the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace.
Drop
the
a
US
super chat
employed
for any
several
questions
deception
or
tactics,
comments or anything you want me to read out loud or
as the
discuss and talk
fourth and
about.
fifth
Let me know.
generation
Drop some
aircraft
super
pushed
chats,
out
guys.
in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. The strike package
Thank
was
you for your
supported by
service.
U.S. Strategic Command, U.S. Transportation Command, U.S. Cyber Command, U.S. Space Command, U.S. Space Force.
I don't think World War
and
III
US
is starting, I'll be honest.
As the strike package approached Fordo and Natanz, the U.S. protection package employed high-speed suppression weapons to ensure safe passage of the strike package, with fighter assets employing preemptive suppressing fires against any potential Iranian surface-to-air threats. We are currently unaware of any shots fired at the U.S. strike package on the way in. At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 a.m. Iran time, the lead B-2 dropped two GBU-57
2:10 Iran time. Iran time.
of several aim points at Fordo. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well.
Trump, USA, hit the like and subscribe button. I gotta take off my case.
All three Iranian nuclear infrastructure targets.
Donald J. Trump is making America great again. Trump 2028, Trump 2032, Trump 2036. Somebody drop me a super chat.
To strike at Esfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation.
What are your views on Trump?
Hammer strike package exited.
Hi, brother. How you doing?
And the package began its return home. We are unaware of any shots fired at the package on the way out. Iran's fighters.
Kyle is so tired of being correct all the time. Free Israel.
Did not see us. Throughout the mission, we retained the element of surprise. In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75.
Trump is predictable to me too.
During this operation, this included, as the president
hit the like and subscribe button. Someone drop some super chats. Much appreciated. I don't know how people still support the felon. He won the election by millions and millions of votes. Harris didn't stand a chance. Hello, Josh. Somebody drop me a super chat if you guys have any questions, any comments, any discussions you want to debate about or talk about.
U.S. aircraft participated in this mission, including B-2 stealth bombers, multiple flights of fourth and fifth generation fighters.
Colt. Trump, Colt.
A guided missile submarine and a full array of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft.
Keep the hat.
As well as hundreds of maintenance and operational professionals. As the Secretary said, this was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown, exceeded only by those in the days following.
If you guys have any specific questions you want to talk about or any comments you want to read, drop a super chat. Drop a super chat. Dare Iran, F around and find out. Welcome back, the noble Dark Shinobi.
Proxy attacks, which would be an incredibly poor choice. We will defend ourselves. The safety.
I've answered lots of real questions already.
Civilians remains our highest priority. This mission demonstrates the
I don't have a number in the stream.
and capability of the United
MAGA.
States military. In just a matter of weeks, this went from strategic planning to global execution. This operation
Let's hope it works. Yes, Mortar Time Duke, it did work. Much appreciated, brother. Where are you coming from? Inside the USA? What city? What state? Trump. The hat has been in a suitcase, actually.
The air crews, naval forces, cyber operators, planners, and support teams, and commanders who made this mission possible. It is their skill, discipline, and teammaking.
Thanks for your support.
Makes this operation possible. I am particularly.
If you guys have any specific questions you want me to answer, I can show you. Just drop a super chat.
Great concern to the president, the secretary, General Kurilla, and me.
If you guys want to debate, talk, join my Discord.
Here this morning, many assets.
This video is pretty much over. If you guys have any, do you have any requests for political videos to show me? Hey, Freddie, thank you for joining in. I like you too, brother. Who do you want me to debate? I'm going to do some debates maybe tomorrow. I was trying to get a special guest from Iran on the show, but they're all worried about political prosecution. They don't want to talk about the whole situation because either a lot of them are in Iran right now or they visit Iran quite frequently and they're scared of political prosecution. But I'm still trying to work on it. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe this coming week we'll get some Iranian people to talk about the whole situation of Iran and the USA bombing them and how they feel. But it's going to be hard to try to get someone on there. I got plenty of friends from there, but they're all scared of political prosecution. Trump, 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 Trump. Hit the like and subscribe button. Big Russian nose. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Let's play some more news. Trump, 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 Trump. CNN, please. No, thank you. Should we play CNN ironically? Really have no more time for liberal bullshit. Thank you, good sir. I'll pin that comment. I hope so, Ben Camp. I hope so.
We want to bring in now our Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane, joining us now here in the studio. General,
someone drop a super chat if there's any topics or discussions you guys want to have.
Deception in the fact that we got in flawlessly, struck our target.
I'm not getting drafted, so I'll keep laughing at you liberals and you Trump derangement syndrome people.
Without a single shot being fired at us.
Yeah. Well,
Deport more illegal immigrants.
Congratulations to our troops in that execution, and the complexity of that operation is obvious. And also, let's commend the President of the United States. He showed enormous strategic patience in trying to work this with the Iranians so that they would dismantle their nuclear enterprise. But at the end of the day, we had to help the Israelis dismantle it. That's the facts on the ground. I think the operation had four major characteristics of it to help it be successful.
Super chat, guys. Drop me a super chat.
And that is really tough to maintain in our open democratic society that we have. And we know that things do have a tendency to leak out.
Everything leaks in Washington.
And then everybody, listen, for the last week or two has been focused on this operation. And yet it didn't leak. The deception helped considerably in that.
I love ICE and deportation of illegal immigrants. Drop me a comment. Drop me a comment. Drop me a super chat. Let me know where you're coming from.
Deception operation as well. When he said, well, I'm going to make a decision in a couple of weeks. The truth of the matter was the decision was already made or made very close.
I put ice in all my drinks.
And everybody was thinking there was time here. And then characteristic.
My brother's an ICE officer. I love that. Pin in that comment.
To ensure that we use overwhelming force. And you saw that most everyone was saying 2 to 3 of these MOPs were going to be used, 14. multiple aircraft to deliver all of those, and then the additional missiles, and taking down 3 targets that the Israelis wanted help on, not just one.
We love ICE.
And then the thing that was emphasized is the flawless execution. And I think the audience had
ICE is a W. Drop a super chat for ICE. Let me know what you think about ICE. Drop a super chat for ICE, guys. Come on!
I'll tell you, what you folks have been doing here on Fox and Friends Weekend, since this got started about 3 or 4 hours ago, is really outstanding. Well done.
Well, thank you, General, and having you here is so beneficial because you understand these. And I think the real question, General, is okay. So, what now are the strategic implications?
ICE
of this
2028.
Obviously, we didn't get much BDA, battle damage assessment, from the Pentagon briefing. It's going to take some time. We'll learn that. But just initially, what do you see as the strategic?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have World War III. Maybe we won't.
Significant opportunity, actually. Obviously, the threat of nuclear weapons being used against Israel, the United States, is, as Iran has threatened, or Europe, which would clearly be in range of their ballistic missiles. That is about.
We need more ICE officers. We need more ICE. Join your local ICE agency. Deport the illegals.
Iran acquired a nuclear weapon, which would have happened. The Arabs, I'm not going to say this publicly, but they are relieved as a.
Somebody drop me a super chat.
And the other thing is, we are on the cusp of actually ending Iran's malign and aggressive behavior in the region, Griff, that has existed for 45 years. And you have outlined the killing of Americans from 1980.
Native Americans agreed.
The 350 attacks that Iran delivered
2028.
on US bases in Iraq and Syria during the 4 years of the Biden administration, and not one time did they ever accept.
Someone super chat. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll read it out loud. We can talk. We can discuss. We can debate.
Here are very serious in terms of the opportunities for peace and stability. Iran is isolated.
I'm not Australian. I am not Australian. I don't even have an Australian accent. I've never been anywhere near Australia. Thank you, Star-Lord. Much appreciated, brother. I would love to know where you're coming from. Isolated. If you want to see about the hat, you got to drop a super chat request in it. Every single live stream, the Democrats want to ask about the hat, but they don't got any money to drop a super chat. Trump the man. Hit the like and subscribe button. Drop some super chats. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Lefty's big mad. You don't have any money, Gary. Stop lying. The Democrats are mad. I love it. I'm taking all kinds of requests. You just got to drop a super chat. Whatever you guys like. Drop a super chat. Thank you, Star-Lord. You're coming in strong, buddy. Strong, 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 man. Strong, strong, man. They're mad. Look at California. Great point. Trump is the best. Trump loves himself, yes, but Trump loves you. Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, if you're not from America, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're, Jason's laughing at Gary. That's hilarious. Love to see it. Smash the like and subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from. If you got any questions, any debate topics, anything you want to talk about, drop me a super chat. Let's talk about some interesting subjects. Sometimes the people in the super chats got some really intelligent things they want to talk about. I love our president. Me too. Who the hell is Mexican Daniel? Hit the like and subscribe button. Drop me some super chats, guys. Much appreciated. Iran won't be on the map much longer. I hope not. If you guys have any specific questions you want me to answer, just drop a super chat. I answer every super chat. I read every super chat out loud. I'm not scared to read anything out loud to you guys. I'm not scared to answer any questions. Just drop me a super chat. I'm reading all super chats out loud. Any requests? Any chats? Just drop a super chat. Simple as that. Let's find another video that we can have on here because I'm a little bit bored of this guy here. Deport the illegals. You want to imagine something scary? Imagine Gavin Newsom becoming the next POTUS. That is extremely scary. I'm going to have nightmares all night. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight thinking about that. What's this? A humiliating result for Newsom.
California Congressman Kevin Kiley, he sits on the House.
Trump. Drop a super chat if you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about.
Circuit Court of Appeals.
Is Iran a nuclear threat to the USA? Well, not anymore. We blew up all their nuclear facilities. But their regime is a threat to their own citizens. Anyway, let's continue with this video. If you guys have any questions, I'll stop the video. If you have any super chat questions or anything you want to talk about or discuss, let me know. Let's continue with this video now, and we'll see what we got going on here. If I can even get this camera steady here. Okay, here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you guys got any questions, any topics you want to debate about, just drop me a super chat. I'll stop the video. Let's play the video now.
You surprised that very liberal court gave the president the go-ahead to continue to order in the National Guard?
Nope.
Honestly, I'm not surprised, despite the Ninth Circuit's reputation, because this lawsuit by Gavin
Lame.
was so frivolous, and this is just a humiliating result for him, where even the Biden-appointed judge was part of this unanimous ruling against his position. And what the court basically said is that the statute in question here allows the president to send in the Guard if there's interference going on with his ability to execute the laws. And so the court cites things like Molotov cocktails being thrown at officers being pinned down, bricks being thrown at them. The court cited an example of some of these rioters who wheeled a commercial dumpster and used it as a battering ram.
This was 5 hours ago, by the way. 5 hours ago.
So the court said, yeah, this kind of looks like the ability of the president to execute his powers.
Play funny Trump dance videos.
And therefore, he was perfectly...
Okay, I will 100% play funny Trump dance videos after this video. We'll wait 4 minutes. Is that okay with you? If you want me to just skip past this video, you can drop $5 and I'll skip this whole video. But if not, we can watch this video because I think it's really funny. Let's just watch it halfway, maybe. Halfway. 2 minutes.
In his powers as commander-in-chief to send the National Guard there to restore order.
Alex Padilla, who is the senator from your state, says that he doesn't see the anti-immigration situation in the same way the president does. Listen.
If this was only about cracking down on drug dealers, violent criminals, dangerous criminals, etc., there'd be no debate, there'd be no discussion. Everybody's on board with that. But what this administration is doing is far from that.
So he seems to be saying that, it's okay to get rid of the drug dealers and the violent criminals, but you can't just get rid of people who sauntered across the U.S. southern border. What do you say to the senator?
Well, the irony is that Senator Padilla and Gavin Newsom and the supermajority legislature have supported the sanctuary policies that are preventing the administration from going after precisely those sort of hardened criminals in the safest and least disruptive setting. That is,
Illegal is illegal. Nobody's above the law.
And it's precisely because of these awful sanctuary laws, sanctuary city for LA, sanctuary state for California, that ICE has no other choice but to conduct targeted operations wherever these folks can be found within the community. So if the senator was really serious about what he has to say, then I would welcome his support for legislation that I've introduced to get rid of these sanctuary policies, and there's similar legislation in the legislature right now. But instead, by the way, what we have, and let's just consider the absurdity of this,
back, Jacob.
Going to court, an action that I believe the senator supported, that they seem to think the clear and present danger is not the rioters, not the people throwing Molotov cocktails, lighting cars on fire. They seem to believe the clear and present danger is the presence of the National Guard itself. I think that's deeply offensive to our dedicated National Guardsmen, and they have managed to restore order when Gavin Newsom refused to do so.
The people who are trying to enforce our laws out there are taking heat from the rioters and others. Listen to what Tom Homan, the head of Homeland Security, has to say.
The agents who wear a mask protect themselves and their families. Not only are they being doxxed, their spouses are being doxxed, their children are being doxxed. And you said it, assaults are up over 400%. They're trying to protect themselves. The job's already dangerous, but it's much more dangerous now because of the rhetoric you're hearing from the Democrat.
He is the head of border enforcement, I should say. Your final thoughts, Congressman, on the situation in California.
Well, these are the very same people who insisted that 2-year-olds be required to wear a mask during COVID, or who would arrest people for paddleboarding by themselves in the ocean without a mask. And now suddenly they're outraged by ICE officers who are under constant threat, feeling they need to do this in order to protect themselves and their family. It's an absolute disgrace. And there's a bill even by a state senator who's now saying he wants to try to stop under state law federal officers from being able to wear masks, which is obviously not within the powers of the state. So the priorities are exactly backwards. And I think that the level of violence that you saw against our federal officers in Los Angeles is absolutely horrifying. It should be condemned in every way, shape, or form. But in too many ways, our elected officials in California have done just the opposite. They've egged on the violence. They've egged on the rioters. We're putting a target on the back of our federal officers.
Congressman Kevin Kiley, Republican of California. Congressman, thank you.
All right, that's it. Now we're going to play some funny Trump videos as you requested. Good sir. Super chat guy requested funny Trump dance videos. It's your time, buddy. One moment. Sorry, sound. Okay, I can't play that one. Well, unfortunately, this song is copyright, so I can't play the actual sound in it. But I can show you the video. Of course, this is a classic Donald J. Trump dancing. This is what at the Michigan rally. It's back, it's back. That's Donald J. Trump's dance moves, guys. That is some serious dance moves for Donald J. Trump. A guy dropped a super chat and requested it. I'll try to show you some other ones with no copyright. Hold on. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Hold on, hold on. Excuse me. Let's see some other dance compliment. YMCA. 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 Here's some more. Here you go. YMCA. He got more rhythm than Obama and Kamala. He got more rhythm than Obama and Kamala. America. America. Nah, Trump is way cooler than Obama could ever wish to be. Someone drop a super chat if you have any video requests. We're taking some video requests now. Just drop a super chat. We'll play whatever political videos, political related videos you like. YMCA. 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 Someone drop a super chat. Drop a super chat if you guys request any specific videos you want to see. YMCA. YMCA. What's wrong with being Mexican? Nothing's wrong with being Mexican as long as you're a legal citizen. Is this some kind of Democrat joke?
Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullins is a senator.
Drop a super chat, guys. Let me know where you're coming from. If you have any video requests, just drop a super chat.
That I agree with the president. This is one of the most skilled, important, imperative, peacekeeping, peace through strength, keeping operations in the last 40 years. And certainly the reign of terror in Iran, whether they know it or not, is coming to a quick end. They will decide their own fate. So far, they have rejected any opportunity for peace. We'll see what happens in the days to come. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Sean, there's a lot to unpack here, and I completely agree. Peace through strength is what President Trump has been talking about from day one. I can tell you every one of our allies in that region is extremely thankful, and those that
his brother is a nice officer.
Are extremely thankful. All of our enemies around the world
drop a super chat, guys.
Right now. I think
any requests, any topics, any videos you want to see, drop a super chat. Any topics you want me to talk about, discuss, debate, drop a super chat. We'll do it.
Let me tell you, the back of the hair just stood up on their neck. You have China that's paying attention. You have Putin that's paying attention. They understand that we can deliver when we need to, and we can destroy things and targets that threaten the United States. Now, keep in mind that this regime, since 1979, has killed over 1,000 American either civilians or service members. And just since 2023, I mean, in 2023 and 2024, they attacked us multiple times underneath Biden because Biden was considered weak.
all because of the Afghan disastrous withdrawal, and they continued to attack us. President Trump had to reset, and once we got eyes on the program, and what I mean by eyes on the program, underneath the Biden administration, they were not giving us direct information. Even in March, when they were doing the handoff, we were not getting direct information of what was actually going on in Iran. Keep in mind, the Biden administration was trying to appease them. They were trying to say, hey, nothing to look at, while they gave them billions of dollars from the taxpayers of the United States.
This guy super chatted. He said, all Dems report to the nearest rainbow. Thank you, Tommy. Tony Tone says, all Dems report to the nearest rainbow.
What President Trump did is he made this a priority, because 10 years ago, when he came down the escalators in New York, he said that there was no way Iran could ever have a nuclear weapon. And he has made that a priority in this administration. Once we got eyes on and saw how big of a threat Iran actually was, it became a point of urgency. And President Trump,
he's a legal immigrant. He didn't come from Germany.
You're done bullying us and chanting death to America.
Let me ask you, Senator, he said in his Truth Social post, and by the way, you were talking about the Iranian attacks on Americans or their proxy attacks on Americans, and we're scrolling that now for our audience.
That's right.
He said in his...
Scrolling.
There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran. He said, you should have listened, because he gave them 60 days. Both he and Steve Witkoff, his Mideast Special Envoy, Secretary of State Rubio, everybody went all in to give them the opportunity to give up their nuclear ambition. They were told directly what the consequences would be. Now tonight they're living out those consequences. The next phase of this, which I know from all of my sources, the next phase of this is already in action, and that is the president is protecting our assets in the region. We already know that there are Iranian terror cells that Biden, Harris, and Mayorkas allowed in the country. So we've got to be on super vigilant alert here on the homeland. Of course, you know, Tom Homan and Kristi Noem and everybody's trying to get rid of them. But phase 2 is already underway, and that is to protect our assets, give the Iranians an opportunity for peace.
Somebody drop a super chat if you have any video requests, any comments you want me to read.
And yesterday they said no negotiations. I would imagine that probably moved up the timeline from 14 days to 2.
Well, Sean, also President Trump during his speech gave a warning shot to him, basically saying, hey, listen, this is your time for peace. If you choose not to, we have other targets already located, and we will deliver. And by the way, we already hit the hardest ones, so you know that we can take out your easiest ones. It was a warning shot. And I want people to understand, those that are talking about the war powers, I mean, you heard Chad talk about, the reporter that you visited about earlier, talked about the war powers and how AOC, who really gives a flip what AOC is saying, and some others are talking about impeachment because we should come to Congress first. Underneath Article 2, it has been debated and been put into court multiple times on what exactly the length of war powers have, with the president having to come to Congress before he committed troops. We didn't commit necessarily troops here, but it also goes on to say, according to court rulings, that if we are attacked, the commander-in-chief, not the president of the United States at the time, but now he becomes commander-in-chief, has the authority and the ability to protect Americans home and abroad if we feel threatened or attacked.
Super chat, are you okay with Trump continuing to add to our debt? Well, every president has added to our debt. He's trying his best with Doge, but all these military attacks are spending a lot of money. Hopefully he figures it out. At least he's trying to reduce the spending. No president has even tried to attempt that I can remember. But hopefully Elon and Trump figure out their situation, and maybe Elon can help. I don't know. But I don't like continuing rising debt now.
including our assets. There is no question Iran has threatened us, and there is no question they have attacked us. This is well within the president's authority to be able to do just exactly what he's doing. He's keeping America safe. And by the way, President Trump is the president of peace. He wants peace more than anybody, but at the same time, he believes in peace through strength, and deterrence is the best way to keep peace.
Well, I think we showed tonight that, once again, the policy of peace through strength works, but they were given every opportunity.
That's right.
And they'll be given another opportunity. If the Iranians are foolish enough to try to retaliate, it is obvious that part two of this operation, part one, is an unmitigated historic success. And I believe this military effort, like a lot of the military efforts of the Israelis, will be studied probably for the next 100 years. So too will this president and his team. They have gamed out every possible scenario whereby the Iranians, if they are foolish, might try to go after Americans or American assets. If they do that, I mean, as the president said, the hard targets are gone. They could wipe out their economy with one shot at their refineries that are clustered very close together. They can take out their entire electric grid. And I think there's going to be a lot of ramifications, and that'll settle out over time. My hope is, and my belief is, I'd not be surprised if a lot of countries in the region don't sign on to the Abraham Accords as a result of all of this. I would imagine all of the Gulf states will. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jordanians eventually did, and the Egyptians did. I mean, this could hopefully, maybe, perhaps, without the threat of a nuclear-armed Iran, usher in an era of real peace in that region that has been craving it and hungering for it for such a long time. I've got to hope that might be a possibility. And you're right. I think every one of America's geopolitical foes, they're watching closely tonight the military might of the United States and also the will of President Donald J. Trump. And they are taking notes tonight.
Hey, and Sean, I completely agree. Let me talk about a couple of things. The Iranian people, I believe, actually love America, and I do mean that. Before the Ayatollah came into power in 1979, we had a very good relationship with Iran and the Iranian people. In fact,
it feels amazing to be a U.S. citizen.
More westernized than any other country in the region. The current regime is the ones that I'm afraid is going to lead Iran down this path. The Iranian people, I think, if they had their choice, they would like to be free from now. And I'm not saying anything about regime change. That is up to the Iranian people, not the United States.
Let me know where you guys are coming from.
The Abraham Accord.
What country, what state, what city?
About the Abraham Accord, but it's probably going to be brought up by normalizing relationships. For some reason, the Abraham Accord, and there's a biblical reason behind that, it's kind of a touchy subject when you use it by Abraham Accord, but when you start talking about normalizing relationships, it allows Saudi Arabia to come in, it allows Egypt to come in, it allows Jordan to come in.
He's a king, he's not an oligarch.
The Abraham Accord,
know the difference.
Normalizing relationships with Israel has worked for UAE, and people want to repeat that.
2028.
So I think this does give the whole entire region the ability to start normalizing relationships, tying in the economies. And when you start tying in the economies in a region, you start ending these wars, because everybody's economy is going to be affected by it. And every leader knows if your economy goes south, your people could go south, especially in a dictatorship where they could be overthrown. That's dangerous.
One of the things that has come up a lot, Senator, is this idea of what the Trump doctrine is. Well, we learned about the Trump doctrine in his first term. He used the mother of all bombs in Afghanistan. He wiped out the entire ISIS caliphate that Barack Obama and Joe Biden allowed to grow. He took out General Soleimani, and people were predicting that would start World War III with Iran.
Somebody drop a super chat if you guys got any requests.
He has shown his
or
willingness
comments you want to talk about
to protect American interest and stop terrorism without getting into forever wars, which is also part of his doctrine, both aspects of which I support wholeheartedly. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and I want to talk about in Afghanistan dropping the mother of all bombs. By the way, that Moab is made in McAlester, Oklahoma. That was in response to a captain of the 19th Group getting killed in Kandahar. And after he dropped that bomb, we never lost another service.
I've read every single super chat and responded a lengthy conversation with every single super chat. What are you talking about?
Member in Afghanistan underneath President Trump's watch. And then keep in mind, too, in Syria, Russia controlled the airspace. And President Trump said that if you use chemical weapons on your people, we will come and react to that. Obama, he actually drew a red line and did nothing about it. Once they actually did drop a 50-gallon barrel drum of mustard gas or whatever it is they dropped, President Trump took back the airspace, bombed the airport that it came from, and kicked Russia out. Interesting enough, no other attacks and nobody else challenged.
You didn't drop a super chat, buddy. I can see every super chat.
President Trump in his first term again. That started happening again, of course, when Biden came into place. My point that I'm getting to, President Trump can bring peace, but he had to restructure what Biden had absolutely destroyed. Because of Biden's weak leadership.
The only super chat you dropped was, okay, are you okay with Trump continuing to add debt? I responded to that one. I responded to your last super chat. There was no super chat after that, my friend. Did you hear my response to your last one about Trump adding to the debt? Did you hear my response? I can say it one more time if you want, but if you have any other questions, please drop a super chat.
President Trump is trying to clean up the mess.
I said Trump is already trying to, he's the first president in history to try to lower the debt that I can think of in recent years, at least in the last 2 decades. And he has Elon Musk working with him. Elon Musk has a fight with Trump right now, so hopefully they can work things out and they can solve the situation. But Elon was helping Trump trying to lower the debt. At least he's attempting it, but all the bombing and all this war is not helping. I don't support that.
The Biden administration.
I think it's a horrible thing that Trump is blowing up other countries first, but no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes.
Left behind. I think tonight he just cleaned up that mess. And you're going to see this settling of dust in that region and possibly around the world because of what President Trump was able to do tonight with our great men and women in service.
All right, we appreciate your time tonight and staying up on the Saturday night with us, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, Oklahoma. We appreciate it. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
Sean Hannity here. Sean Hannity here. Sean Hannity here. Sean Hannity here. It's Sean Hannity here. Hit the like and subscribe button. It's Sean Hannity here. Any videos you guys want me to play, just request it. Drop a super chat. Request some videos you guys want me to play. Sean Hannity here. Any requests for videos? Tucker Carlson. Okay, we'll play Tucker. Why not? Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Military expert, Dan Cardwell. Is that the one you want me to play?
So it seems likely the U.S. government will participate.
Oh, The View? You gotta drop a super chat if you want me to play The View. That show is horrible. Well, you don't gotta worry because the big beautiful bill isn't gonna pass. And I also have issues with it, but not the same issues you have with the big beautiful bill. But if you want me to go into depth about this topic for 5 or 10 minutes, drop me a super chat. If not, we're gonna jump right into Tucker Carlson with the military expert Dan Caldwell breaks down what will happen in Israel's war with Iran. Elon is another Edward Snowden. I don't think so, but we'll see.
On Iran's nuclear facilities. If that happens, what next? How does Iran respond? Can airstrikes alone end the nuclear program? And what happens to the rest of the countries in the region and Iran's allies? Do they get involved? There's no better person to talk this through with than former Pentagon official Dan Caldwell.
Thank you, Best.
Joins us now.
If you want me to play anything specific, Best, just drop a super chat. Or if you want me to talk about the big beautiful bill in depth, I can. I've talked about it multiple times. There's many things about it that need to be changed, but these aren't the things that you believe need to be changed.
as we sit here right now, and I hope you correct me if you think this impression is wrong, but I think the general view among people who are watching what's happening in Iran is that there will be some kind of U.S. strike. I'm getting this wrong, I'm reading in the popular press. There will be some kind of strike on Iran by the U.S. military against an enrichment site, the famous subterranean enrichment site, with some kind of large conventional bunker buster weapon. That has not happened. Of course, we don't know that's going to happen. We don't know anything.
It did happen. Wow. Alex Jones moment. Alex Jones moment. It did happen. Great prediction of the future, Tucker Carlson. This was 2 days ago, by the way.
Does happen. What happens next?
Well, let me just say, if it does happen, I hope all my predictions are dead wrong.
Me too.
Because
thank you for saying that.
That means dead Americans. And, I won't say who. I was talking to somebody who I guess you could describe as a neoconservative. And, I said, I hope if this happens, you're making fun of me and calling me an idiot.
Me too. I totally.
I really mean that, because there's guys who are just like me.
Thank you,
15,
Jacob.
20 years
We're
ago,
homies
They're
now.
going to be in the middle of this fight. Either they're going to be on some of these bases that will likely come under attack. They're going to be part of air crews. They're going to be on some of these ships. I really hope that all the confident predictions play out, and I'd love to be wrong.
Can I ask you this? How are those guys, since you've been one of those guys, how are those guys feeling right now? Are they getting news? Are they on social media? Are they aware of what people in the U.S. are saying about the likelihood of this?
I think that a lot of them are. I have spoken to a few that are still in the service, and the ones that I talk to are either senior enlisted or more senior officers. So they've been around for 15, 20, some cases 25 years at the tail end of their careers. And honestly, a lot of those guys are tired. And these were guys...
I'm good. How are you?
20 years ago that the one thing they wanted was to get in the fight. They wanted to go to Iraq. They wanted to go to Afghanistan. Some of them are on their 7th, 8th deployments, either to the region or to Europe or somewhere else. And they're worn out. And they also see that the military has really continued to be overstretched, despite the fact that the Iraq and Afghanistan wars have wound down. And remember, we still have thousands of troops in Iraq and Syria. Thankfully, the Trump administration prior to this appears to have started a retrograde, a withdrawal from Syria. Hopefully we go to zero there. So we still have a lot of troops there. And a lot of them just feel like we've been doing this for so long, and there's so many things we have to do to fix the military, to fix the culture, something the DOD is really trying to prioritize. We need to reform our Army. Secretary Dan Driscoll is starting this major Army reform effort that I think is important. And another war will distract away from that. It will take resources away from that. There's a huge problem right now with standard of living within the United States military. A lot of barracks are falling apart. You had the Navy Secretary John Phelan, and credit to him, he went out to Guam and saw the decrepit state of the barracks for, I believe, the Marines out there, and he ordered them shut down, and they were so bad. So another war that not only puts more lives in danger and requires more deployments to that region after 20 years of continuous deployments, sometimes the last minute. It takes resources away from things we need to do. And I think a lot of folks are really worried about that as well.
If you're on a ship in the region right now, and you think there could be, offensive military action by the U.S. military, and you're at some level of the chain, you're part of it. Are you nervous?
I mean, when I was in the Marine Corps, even though we are an amphibious branch, I never served on a ship before I flew over to Iraq. I didn't go over on a boat float. But I mean, from what it's been described to me, you're in a metal container. I used to talk a lot of trash about the Navy, but understanding what it's like to live on a ship 6 months at a time, and especially when you get extended over and over again, I'd rather do multiple deployments to Iraq. I just like to say that. But it's very isolating. It's very scary, because you sometimes feel like you don't have control, and that events are out of your hands in a way that's maybe not the same for somebody who's serving in the infantry, or you're an individual pilot. So it's
nowhere to run, literally.
Yes. Yeah. It's terrifying. And has been publicly reported, we had some very, very close calls in the recent fight against the Houthis. There was, some anti-ship missiles. We have a very effective ballistic missile defense and anti-missile defense on these ships. But one of the reasons why one of those F-18s fell off the Harry S.S. Truman was because it had to do some aggressive maneuvers to potentially avoid a Houthi anti-ship missile, and thankfully it didn't hit. But imagine being one of the 6,000 sailors and Marines on that ship and in that moment. And it's terrifying. It can be absolutely terrifying.
It is terrifying. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was thinking that this morning. What would it be like to be one of those guys just waiting for something to happen and knowing it could be
nothing but respect for the United States Navy.
I totally agree. So you were saying, and I just wanted to add my voice in vehement agreement. I really hope to be wrong in every one of my predictions. I hope to laugh at myself and apologize to everyone for being hysterical. I really hope that I can do that. And I know you feel so way. So with that caveat, what do you think is likely to happen if a strike of the nature that I described happens?
Well, I think the event to look back on, that could show us what could happen is what happened after the Soleimani strike. And it's not a perfect comparison because it's pretty clear the Iranians telegraphed to us that they were going to do that. We had some back
Super chat me if you have any questions or anything you want to see.
We knew it was coming.
Let me know.
So our
Super
troops
chats, please.
on Al-Assad Air Base, where I served, and actually, interestingly, where the vice president served as well too, many years ago, were able to get to shelters and to get out of places that were very exposed. And Iran launched a salvo of ballistic missiles at Al-Assad Air Base. But even then,
which is where?
Al-Assad Air Base is in western Iraq. Is in Al Anbar province.
It's in Al, right?
And one thing to note about that base is that we do a lot of joint training with the Iraqi army. And the Iraqi army is part of the same government that has another security force called the Popular Mobilization Force, which is a group of militias that are loyal to Iran. They were funded, initially supported, and trained by Quds Force, led by Soleimani at the time. And so we are at that base training allies, the people that are likely going to be trying to kill us in this war. So that's important to remember. And that, I think, can lead you to understand
that
how
is still the case?
Absolutely. That's our main mission in Iraq right now, is to support the Iraqi security forces, which includes the Popular Mobilization Forces, which consists of Iran-allied militia groups.
This is so bonkers.
It is the most convoluted mission, I think, on the face of the earth right now.
Is that a mission? That seems like
a suicide pact.
Kind of. It seems like putting guys in jeopardy for what's the purpose exactly?
We're literally propping up an ally of Iran, and we're subsidizing an ally of Iran. And some will argue it's like, well, we need these troops in al-Assad, and we need them in parts of Baghdad still and other parts of the country to check Iran. But a small number of troops is not meaningfully influencing the Iraqi government, and it's not providing a meaningful check on Iranian influence. They're just easy targets that allow us to allow the Iranians to bleed us cheaply.
So without divulging anything, I mean, I know that you won't during the course of those conversations to anything that is privileged or, legally confidential secret. But as far as you know, they're there today. Those American troops are still in Iraq.
As far as I know, yes.
Still surrounded by Iranian proxies.
Yes. And so I would still have concerns about a strike, a direct military intervention in Iran were those troops not.
All right, guys, I think that's it for today's stream. Hit the like and subscribe button. We're having a guest on the show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're having a guest on our show. My Haitian friend from Orlando, Florida. He's going to talk about how he used to be a Biden supporter. Now he's a Trump supporter. He's going to talk about his feelings towards the Iran war and the whole situation. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Come back tomorrow. I'll be streaming. There'll be a special guest. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before then, I'll be streaming even. I'll do a pregame stream, and then at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be a special guest on the show. Unfortunately, the Iranian guest, we're still negotiating when we're gonna get him on the stream. Thank you, guys. Hope everyone has a great Sunday night. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.